In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the projects entity. This is where we store the details on our projects around the world for all our contracting entities, including iRAP, RASL, EuroRAP, ERA, and RSF, as well as partners where known. It is currently tracking projects since 2019, with more historical projects to come. So let's take a look. You'll find the projects entity in the directory down this left-hand side. Simply click on Projects. The opening view that you'll see is Project Tracker View. For those of you who are used to seeing projects in the Smartsheet software, this view mirrors it. At some point, if you want to download this project tracker, all you need to do is come up here to Export to Excel. It just pops it down here and I can save it wherever I want to on my hard drive. The other option I can do is open it in Excel online. I can do this with any view in the system, and you see it opens it to look like an Excel document. And from here, I can change multiple fields at once. For example, I could change dates and I could change percentage complete across for maybe 20 projects at once. And when I click Save, those changes will go across to all of those projects. This will save you having to go into all of those different records one at a time. In terms of projects, if I click on this little down arrow, here you can see my views. So these are ones I have personally created. So for example, here's one for Morgan. And here we can see all of the prospects, proposals, and projects that Morgan has assigned to him as the project manager. We also have system views, which everyone in the system will see. Down the bottom here, you can see Strategic Projects Tracker, all project statuses, as well as working ones. So what this is Luke's favoured views. And here it shows the contracting entity of RASL and iRAP, and where project status does not equal complete or withdrawn for these working views. This is the one he would come in and have a look every day. You can see here this option, Set Current View as my default. So if, like Luke, you want to come in and see this particular view, the Strategic Projects Tracker, not the main one that I showed you at the start, you simply come down here and click Set Project View as your default. And every time you open the system, it will set that one as the one you see. To get back to the project tracker main, I simply can click here again, and it brings me back to my default view. iRAP Connect is now this master system for tracking our projects. Project managers have permissions enabled for them to add new projects and update the records. All staff, including those with read-only permissions, can link the data. So for example, projects to their parent or predecessor projects, projects with their associated trainings, projects with the people and organisations who've worked on them, and the projects with related news and knowledge such as reports and presentations. This linkage is very valuable. Where you see connections can be made, please go ahead and create the links. It's possible your unique knowledge is the best that we have to know what happened on a project. I'll show you how to do this in a moment. So let's have a look at the information we have on a project. Let's search for Slain. So to find a project, I come up here, search this view, and here I can type in a keyword. So for example, if I use this star, it will look at any place in the project name where this word appears. So if I look at Slain, and I click Return, it's going to bring up the Slain project. So if we look at what we know about Slain, we can see here the start and end date, the contracting currency and value, the likelihood, and the percentage complete. So it's now a finished project. We can see here the status. It occurred in the European region, and here is the project countries. There were 4. As we go down, we can see other project territories that could be linked. So for example, if this project also occurred within a sub-region like Catalonia, we could link that here as well. Here are the assessment metrics. So we can see within this project, there were 4,000 kilometres of star ratings. There was training. We anticipated at the beginning we would train 381 people, and we in fact delivered to that number. There was also 8,000 kilometres of risk mapping. And we can link here that there is a road to be upgraded, already upgraded. There's also support information. So for example, the web link and the project description. This information here goes out on our partner portal. So it's really important that we get a really nice, clean project description here and web link if possible. Progress notes is hidden and you can put anything you want here. And this duplicate project information is if, for example, for the project Biggers 20 to 2021, we might have also done some QA on a Uganda Star Ratings project that was part of that bigger one. And that's where we can just note that this project is part of the other, and it saves us perhaps double counting some of these metrics further up. If we go up to the right-hand column now, you can see the delivery team and all the options to put in here. Contracting entity. We want to know about our partner projects because ideally what we would love is for the iRAP system to be the most comprehensive tracking of iRAP projects in the world. So we're very keen to know about them even if we're not working on them ourselves. Status, the project manager, the client and the client contact. And if I wanted to add a primary client contact, if I click in here and return, it will bring up for me only the staff members of the European Commission, so I can search for them here. This information portal details here is very important. This determines if this project record is going to be seen by our RAP leads of our countries via the partner portal. So if we have here, yes, it's visible in portal, we can also fill in these fields just to explain the approvals that we were granted, which is very important if it was perhaps something sensitive. We can also record if we have approval to publish the project manager, and we really need to make sure that they're happy for us to show their email address to be contacted for information. While these fields might look like a bit of overkill, there's quite a few, if the answer is no, that's when these fields come into play as being particularly important. If you're ever uncertain what enables a project record to be seen on the portal, this information just helps to remind you. This project contacts and organisations information is where we can link people to the projects. We're keen for project managers to fill this out for all their projects. There are many people involved in projects, from the project manager and client to subcontractors, funders, training participants, including those who've been funded by the project, and additional interested parties. We want to know who they are and we want to track them to the project for a number of reasons. The finance team, for example, need to know who the client and our project subcontractors are so we can manage them professionally. We want to make sure everyone we work with makes it onto our databases so we can foster a relationship with them and develop their training and accurate knowledge in RAP. If project contacts are entered here, we can send them project updates, training invitations, and newsletters. To add a person to this grid, simply click New Project Association. You can pick whether you're adding an individual or an organisation, and the function and role they'll have. So for example, if I'm adding an individual accredited supplier, I would look for the particular function, accredited supplier. I would look for the individual. So for example, I might link Marco. And if Marco is accredited, he will appear here with his current accreditations. And that's where I can determine if he can be linked to a valid accreditation here. And once linked to an accreditation, it will say yes, that he has been accredited during the project. Only individuals are accredited, not organisations. Hence the grid changes depending on your selection. We're tracking the number of accredited suppliers who are working on our projects, so this accredited field is important. Once you've filled in the form, you simply save and close. In this case, I'm going to return and discard those changes. Note that in terms of adding a client, we can only add one. So if there are two, you simply add the second client down here. You don't need to link training attendees on this projects and organisations grid. They're cleverly associated in the system as soon as a training event is linked to the project. If we want to know which people are trained, we can easily generate an attendees list separately from the system. You can see here that projects will often have training events associated with them. Trainings are added to our system in response to the forms that you complete and return each month, advising of the trainings run and advocacy events presented at. We want to link projects to trainings and their attendees, and we do this using this lookup. So for example, here I could simply search for a keyword to find the particular training I would like and add. If we look at what is shown here, I can simply click through and then you can see the training event participants. So as you can see, this is very comprehensive information that's helping us to understand who is involved with our projects and in what capacity, and how much skills they are developing over the course of our relationship with them. If you're uncertain of the name of the training event you're trying to find, you can also link from this side. So within the training events entity, you can search for your project here, and then once have it, you can link the projects on this side, and it will then immediately appear across into the projects entity. Going back again to Slane, link projects is where we can connect a project to its parent or predecessor. This helps us to follow the progress of projects from one to another, or smaller projects when they are part of a major project. To do this, I simply add new linked project. For example, if I wanted to link Slane and Radar, I simply attach it and I give it a role, and the words helpfully will fill in, and I save and close. You can see there's also tabs across the top. Territory News and Resources is my favourite. To gather an all-round view of all the information we have on a project and to assist client reporting, we can link news and reports to a project. It has to be entered in the system first, in the Territory News or the knowledge entities. And once they're in place, we can simply link the project, either from these entities or from the project itself. The way I've been uploading news and knowledge into iRAP Connect makes this task very easy. So for example, if I wanted to add a new knowledge, I could simply click here, add existing territory news, and I could look for a keyword. And here's the options that are possible. To click them, I can simply just go like this, and they get added. Similarly, with knowledge articles, I can simply add existing knowledge article and add them here. You can imagine the value of this information when it comes to the end of your project and you need to produce a report for the sponsor or funding body. It's very simple for you to just come in here and download this list, export all territory news and export all knowledge articles. And there you would have the list of titles and the web addresses for each one. The next tab, Investment, is where we'll link road upgrade investment that eventuates from a project. You can see the investment training video for more on this, but to add an investment, simply click Add Existing Investment, and you can do a search. And select one to add. You can ignore these fields here. They were scoped as part of the early build and may come into play at a later time. The VITA tab allows you to link the details of VITA project datasets. So for example, just click on this one. This was designed to be a lookup so we could have all possible datasets linking. And in time we may get that if we link the two systems. But for now, we can simply write the dataset name with free text, write the ID, decide if it's primary, and then click Save. And I can add a new VITA dataset for each one that I am adding. To get back to the main project information, you just select the General tab. So where else in the system does the project information helpfully appear? You can see it in the Territories entity. If I look up Hungary, I can see all the projects that we have done or are doing there. If I look up an organisation, such as Fred, I can also see all the projects that we have associated with them and the functions they're performing on the projects. Within contacts, I can, for example, look at Marco and I can see against Marco the projects he's working on, and alongside that, the training he has completed any accreditations he has, and any feedback that we have received on him. The other areas showing project linkages is down here, the bottom left, master data. It's not an area you'll often go into, but it's good for you just to know that it exists. So I can look at project associations, and this shows me the people linked to projects and the function that they perform on them. Linked projects shows me the projects that link together. Now we have the data in the system, we can easily continue linking data forevermore, and it will be a work in progress. For project managers, please keep your project information up to date, being mindful of what can be seen on the partner portal publicly, and liaise with Luke if changes may affect global operations. Remember, you can change the view so that you're only seeing the projects that you're working on. Because so many of us have unique aspects of knowledge, we're relying on every single staff member to add their knowledge and data linkages for the benefit of all of us. In terms of projects, anytime you're in iRAP Connect and you see potential ways to link data, please go ahead. Link projects together as a predecessor or parent of others. Link news and reports to your projects. And link all the people who've worked with you on the project so we can maintain and grow our contact with them. It's very easy to update information so we can continue to refine our data over time. The final thing I can show you is a project dashboard that we have in Power BI. Not everyone has access to this, but it's helpful for you to know that it exists. We will continue to build on this dashboard and refine it, but right now it's helping us mine the data for interesting insights and to save our reporting preparation time. So that's it. See our other training videos for short tutorials on related parts of the system and to develop skills to get the most out of iRAP Connect. Remember, this is a system rollout and we'll be building on it and improving it on a continual basis. If you have questions, suggestions or needs, please contact us.